Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah.
A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to HJN and Flying with the Foam. And now, here comes a time where the Rivals Blaster lineup itself strikes again. But this time, if you want to get yourself a little more compact and also get yourself a way of, well, kind of making it look like an old-fashioned SMG. And I'm mainly talking about old SMGs like the Kiparis, the Spectre, and the PM63. I'm mainly talking about Call of Duty Black Ops and their usage of SMGs that happen to have magazines that double as hand grips on the front. Because there were a lot of them at the time. There were also actual foregrips pretty much, but in general, I just feel like that this blaster kind of brings us back to that time when there were a ton of SMGs that we used with those kind of foregrips and those kinds of, well, gripping in mind. To where you could basically use the grip of the magazine itself to get a little extra accuracy. And I do kind of see how they were going well with this. But this is the rival Deimos, another more recent blaster out there, aside from many that we have gotten from the last couple of years, like the Arrows, the Achilles, the Saturn, and some others around. But I will say that the Deimos is one of those that seem to be a carbon copy of another blaster that we seem to have in the Rivals lineup itself, the Kronos. Yeah. Of course, the Kronos has been talked about at least once already, but the Deimos here is simply put just that. Just with a grip from a magazine down here that can hold 7 rounds. And of course, I should talk a little bit about the magazine itself because it's a bit different than the majority of other magazines that we seem to get in the Rivals lineup itself. First of all, it's in an opaque orange as opposed to, well, having the majority of it be transparent in color and tone. But yeah, it just so happens to have itself a little trap door that you can use with this small knob on the side. And if you push it up, it clicks into place. Then push it open like this. Well, now you can load a ton of Rivals rounds inside of the clip itself. Or magazine. I don't really know how you call this, but I will say it's a bit convenient for what it is. It's probably interesting to try different things with the magazines themselves. Seeing as we've had a lot of innovations within Nerf already, I guess Hasbro just doesn't want to stop trying other things around here. So, I guess this is a good attempt to try something different, but I don't really see much point in, well, refilling the magazine like this when I could just simply do the alleged trick of pounding this thing on the ground several times and, well, picking up HIR rounds in the process. Like for say, if I were to, well, do it like this, put them out of my hand and then, well, that's pretty much what I'll do. And well, I guess for science I'll try one more time. Just like that. And then of course I just load it back into the blaster, prime, or wait, trapdoor ain't closed, there we go. Put it back in, prime, and fire. Whoa, bounce back. So, I will say that for a blaster like this that is little more than just a Kronos with a magazine that you can actually put inside of here, and also a safety switch, which actually sounds pretty satisfying. That nice sort of clicking. It seems to relieve stress as well. So that could be useful. But oh, another bounce back right here. So the Deimos itself, of course it may just be a bit of a clone compared to the Kronos, which seems to be just what this is. But I seem to find some originality other than just the color scheme, the design choice that they made, and the call for a magazine instead of, well, an inline clip like they have been using a lot more often nowadays. And not to mention the usage of a safety switch, as well as, well, the nice sort of jam switch, which is present on a lot of Rivals blasters, mind you that. And also, wow, obviously that's a clip release button. And then of course there's a little bit of a different priming handle and stroke. And then of course there's the trigger itself, which for some reason sort of clicks whenever you pull it back. I don't really know if that's some sort of resistance that it's having or something of that sort, but in general I do find this blaster to be pretty usable in many ways. Also, it's yet another blaster from Bolts of Intrigue itself. Yeah, just a little vague reference. But all in all, I will say that Deimos is still a pretty good blaster for what it is. And that's pretty much it for right now, so yeah. But there is certainly going to be a lot more coming down the line when it comes to all of this. So if you want to see more go down on my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.